This is the 8th anniversary for this Thruxton R. Yep, 8 years ago in May I bought the bike. I didn't get it delivered until June 27th, I think. It was the first bike, Thruxton R, bought in Idaho though. And I did a video about 1.5 years ago about the bike, and it's got a little bit more details than I'm going to share with you here on this ride. But I'll put a link to that video in the comments section. It tells you about all the maintenance and things that I put on it, and if anything's went wrong and things like that. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I think the only thing's really changed since that one about 1.5 years ago is I put about another 1,500 miles on it, on the bike. I've had another oil change, so I'm on my 9th oil change and filter. I put the tires on that I was talking about in that video. They've been on for a while, the Michelin Road 6s. And, you know, I've only got about 11,500 miles on this bike. And like I said in the other video, one of the reasons I don't have a lot of miles on the bike, that I've had a lot of bikes that I've had that I've been riding also. This bike, there's been 11 other bikes in the garage in my shop during the period of time I've owned this motorcycle. So there's been plenty of other bikes to ride, and I use them a little bit for different purposes. As you can imagine, I'm probably not going to take this out on a, you know, a 2,000 mile ride. Although I guess I could. But I am over 70 years old, so that's probably not going to happen. One of the curious things that has happened is I've actually found that I get less tired on this bike now than I did 8 years ago. I have no idea why. It doesn't, you know, the clip-ons don't hurt my hands. I've got today I put the Corbin seat on it, but most of the time on the shorter rides like the Idaho City and stuff, you know, 60, 70 mile ride, I'll use a regular seat. Today it's a little bit longer ride. You know, I'll be riding about 5 hours. So I'll put the Corbin on. It gives me a little bit more comfort on the seat, and gives me just a little bit more of peg to seat height. This bike is right on the margin for my knees. And I use the back foot pegs a lot, but today I got the camera on one of the back there on one of the foot pegs, so I won't be using that. But it's a very, very enjoyable bike. One of the things I don't think I discussed with the bike last time was all the different sprocket combinations you can run on this bike, which changes the gearing and changes the nature of the bike. The stock bike comes with a 1642 tooth sprockets, 16 on the front, 42 on the back. Well, I've run all the way up to an 18 on the front and a 37 on the back. Now I've done that land speed racing, but generally running out on the road like I am today, I'm running 17 on the front today and a 40 on the back, so it's geared up a little bit. That keeps the RPMs down. It's a very smooth bike anyway. Keeps the gas mileage going up, so I really do like the 1740 combination, especially since I've added 15 horsepower to this bike, and it still has plenty of scoot with the 1740. And it's just a little bit slower in a quarter mile with those sprocket combinations on. But you know, I really like this bike. As you can see, I've changed the color, and you'll notice that in the other video that I linked here, it came in a silver color, and I like the silver color. It looks really nice. But after 5 or 6 years, I decided I wanted to change it. So there's a real good painter in town, and painted a candy apple red and with a gold leaf on it, pinstriping on it. I think it still looks really, really good. Maybe even better. That's subjective. I've had an opportunity to check out a lot of bikes that are competitors for this motorcycle. Not all, but a lot. I have a Kawasaki Z900 RS SE. I've had a BMW R9T. So those are, competitors for this bikes. And they're all, personalities of the bikes are so different, even though they're both, they're all kind of retro, modern classics, if you will. I don't know what you want to call it. But I really like that style of bike, and there's a big difference between the Boxer engine and this engine, and the Boxer and this engine in the Kawasaki. The riding platform's a little different also. So overall, I think it's a very, very good purchase on this bike. I've spent a lot of money on the bike, but it wasn't money I had to spend. It's just that, I wanted a cam, I wanted to do that, put the fairing on it, just some stuff like that. And a lot of those expenses are pretty high. I do change the oil and oil filters in it a lot. It's averaging a little over 1,000 miles. So I do it quite frequently. I've had to replace the fork seals on the bike. That's probably more if you watch the other video. You can see that on drag racing I did a series of wheelies there. It probably wasn't very good on the fork seals. I think the only thing that went wrong with this bike was when they put the quarter fairing on the bike. It stretches out the wiring harness going from the headlight to the ignition switch. Then they complicate it by putting a really tight thing of plastic that has to go through, so every time you turn your front wheel a lot, left or right, it would kind of bind up. And that eventually didn't cut into the wiring and on the harness. Now I got that replaced under warranty. I'm glad I did have the extended warranty on this bike. Paid $850 for another six years for the warranty on this bike. So, but I've done a ton of 55 drag races on this bike. 19 times down the Bonneville Salt Flats. It's never given me a lick of problem, and it's really held up well. I got a lot of bug juice on it now, but it's really held up well when you look at the bike with no corrosion hardly at all on the bike. But I do keep it clean. So I'm well satisfied with this bike. I will be eventually looking for a new owner for it, but I want to make sure. I'd like to very much get a sell it to somebody that's a younger rider that probably couldn't afford this bike, but would appreciate what it is. So I'm going to probably sell it to them a little cheaper. But if I find the right owner, then I'll sell it to the person at a pretty good discount. This bike has it has a ton of exhaust. I think I got 4 exhaust systems for it. And I got the stock exhaust, which has never been on it. I've got the Vance and Hines, which really sounds pretty good, but it's a little short. And I've got the Meerkat megaphones that I use for Bonneville. They're a little loud, but they're pretty sweet too. And I've got the Flat Cap Racer specials from Meerkat on right now. They're kind of the Norton style. Peter built those special for me, and he built 2 pair. I believe one of my friends has the other pair in Utah on her Thruxton. So it's been a great bike, and it is a great bike. I don't know. I don't really compare to the Kawasaki and the BMW. They're really, really good bikes too. They all do stuff a little bit differently. Just different bikes for different days, I guess. It's a good job if you can get it. Well, thank you for coming along with me on this ride. We'll do some more. Probably be riding my Kawasaki next time I'm out. This is a Flat Cap Cafe Racer. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Bye.